Welcome again to session 2 of performance management. We just want to remind you of the objectives for this unit, and we're going to go through. Last time we looked at the goals of performance management, but the unit will also cover what are the components of the process, the difference between performance management and performance appraisal, the determinants of performance in organization, the purpose, which is what we're going to focus on today, the cycle, and the criteria. So let's look at the purpose. What we need to find out is, why do we do performance management? And we consider that performance management really has 3 main purposes. Now, the first one we're going to look at is its strategic purpose. Now, we consider that something becomes strategic when you can do one activity at one end that will leverage the results you get on the other. And so performance management system should link the activities that employees will do so that you will be able to achieve or to improve on the results that an organizational goal will have. So when we're talking about its purpose here, we're talking about the ability that it gives to define what those results are, what the behaviors are, and what are the characteristics that you're going to need in order to be able to carry out that strategy. Now let's look at its administrative purpose. Practically, a performance management system provides decision-making support to all managers and to all HR officers. And in its decision-making capacity, it gives you support for the decisions that you will make for salary increases, for promotions, for retention and termination, for recognition of individual performance. And so what we want to be able to understand is that when we are making these decisions, that we have some kind of documentation that we can use that says this is the reason why we gave that salary increase. Now, when an employee comes to you and asks, why did I get 10% on my pay and somebody else got 15, you can draw for your performance management information, or it is that you can draw for the appraisal tool, and you can say, okay, you achieved 15% of the targets and the other person achieved 25. So that administrative value is significant when we're talking about providing feedback. What we have on the screen now is its developmental purpose, and this is also very important. Now, all employees need the ability to develop in your system. And so we want to be able to develop those that are effective at their jobs and to improve the performance of those that are not performing as they should. Now, the feedback that is provided in the system provides specific information as to how it is you can pinpoint those weaknesses, provide solutions, and then you can identify areas of deficiency, and then you would be able to support that deficiency with specific activities that would improve employees. So now that we know why it's so fantastic, why don't we do it? Now, we operate in a system that's very oral. We prefer to talk than to write, and so being tied down to a performance management system is sometimes very difficult for managers. And so here are some of the excuses. I'm sure you have heard them as well. So we hear that managers are too busy, they don't have time to do this, that there are no sanctions for not doing them, and so if it is there is no sanction, then it's not going to be done. There is a fear of confrontation. Nobody wants to be able to talk to an employee to say that they are not doing well for fear of a box in the mouth. There's also a culture in some organizations that discourage its use. There are many organizations now that encourage its use, but we are talking about why we don't do it. Now, there's also a use of managerial discretion, and what we're talking about there is, if you don't do it, then you do have a reason to protect yourself, right? Now, there's also something that says that you are unclear as to what is expected from you, and some managers really have too many people to rate. And there is also, if you have done no documentation of employee performance, it is impossible to be able to do an appraisal or to be involved in a performance management system. And that's going to end session 2 for this unit.